Hey guys, what's up? It's Nate, and I'm back with another episode of Paranormal Talk, the Paranormal App Test. So the app we're going to be looking at tonight is called the Real Ghost Detector by Jim Stevens. I have tested this app once in the past for about 25 minutes. I didn't have the volume up, so I have no idea how loud this app is. But I can give you the basic breakdown of it. So, it's going to have a radar. And there's little blips that are going to appear as electromagnetic fluctuations around the phone become less or more intense. Words will appear, and sometimes they will correlate with the questions that are asked, sometimes just random words. However, we're going to test it, and we're going to see how well it actually works. I want to see if I can get some direct responses. So, unfortunately for me, you guys can tell it's kind of cold, because I don't know how loud this app is. I got to start the test outside. So, without further ado, because I don't want to freeze my ass off, let's get it. Alright guys, so the Real Ghost Detector by Jim Stevens. The icon's going to be here on the left-hand side in the middle. Kind of cool looking little icon, shadow figure, pressed upon what looks to be a compass of some type with a radar. That's your load screen. And yeah, okay, so it's basically like a compass. Now my question is, and I don't have a compass to compare this to right on hand, is this compass actually accurate? You know what, I wonder. Let's see. Somewhere here. So according to this, I'll using it. Right now we're facing south. Let's see what the actual app says we're facing. South, okay. So the actual compass on it seems to work as it's properly supposed to. You see that little purple dot up there? That's supposedly a blip of activity. No words have come through yet, so I'm gonna get my ass inside, out of the cold. It's about 32 degrees, and yay, an ad. Of course, there's an ad. Hatchment, whatever that means. So, I didn't hear the word come through. I don't know if you guys heard anything or not. I didn't. I know my volume's all the way up. And I don't know what hatchment even means. But let's continue walking around. Okay, I see a purple blip over here. Let's go towards that. Okay, not my wall. This is as far as I can go. So that's not going to help me any. So I don't know exactly what this raising and lowering bar in the middle is underneath the words. I have to assume that's the intensity of the quote-unquote electromagnetic fluctuations around the device. Is anyone in here with me? Could you appear on this radar in a close proximity? I'm speaking to only spirits who reside in this house. Any spirit that does not reside in this house, you are not welcome and are not allowed to be here. So guys, that's always a good precaution. Just make it known that you're talking to only things that are within the residence that you are at. Ooh, I can't shake this chill. It's cold outside. Right now I'm just walking through my kitchen. Now I'm going to the pantry. I'm gonna go out this way. So I can't seem to hear any kind of obvious beeping. Seneca. Okay, that makes no sense. I don't know what that means. So, okay, so the words will just appear on the screen. It doesn't actually say them out loud. So that's good to know. So this app, as far as I can tell right now, let me make sure my actual background sound is on. It is. So as far as I can tell, this app actually has zero noise whatsoever, which is kind of odd for an app. I don't know if I like that or not, only because if I'm nowhere near the actual phone, how am I going to know it says anything? Sometimes I like to leave my phone sitting in a location and walk off. You guys have seen me do that before in app tests and see what happens. Plus that about this is you guys can actually hear me talking as I'm testing the app, so that's a plus. You know what? I'm gonna try that now. I'm gonna sit this down and I'm gonna see what happens if I back up. Is there anything here in the house with me that lives in this location? Come over to that device. Make it say a word. You can modify the device. Use your energy, modify the device to say a word. Come on, you can do it. I'm not going to hurt you. And I expect the same in return. Move this to a more central location. Here we go. That works. You don't have to be afraid of me. Soulless. Okay. Are you saying that you're soulless or that I'm soulless? Now, guys, what I'm finding really weird about this is if you notice, there's zero activity being detected by the radar, and words are still popping out. I mean, they're not all that rapid fire, but words are still coming out of the device or reading onto the device. Robbing. Soulless robbing. What are you robbing? But as you can clearly see, there's no signs on the radar itself of activity, yet I'm still getting words. Kind of makes me wonder if it's a built-in word database that's just, spitting out random words at will. What are you robbing? Are you robbing me of my energy? That's okay. You can use some of my energy if it will help you communicate. Can you tell me your name? Can you use that device? Can you modify the device to give me a name? Potomac. Potomac. Why does that sound familiar? Potomac. Is that an Indian tribe? The Potomac? Is that an Indian tribe or a river? Hang on, guys. I really feel like that's an Indian tribe or a river. Yeah, hang on. I'll be right back. Alright, so I want to see Potomac. So, Potomac is a city in Maryland. Nature Potomac, I refer to United States, vessels, other uses, vessels, okay, so there's vessels. Okay, so the Potomac Indian is a type of car. Okay, so I knew that there was a Potomac Indian. I wasn't exactly lying about that. There was a Potomac Indian as a type of car. Perhaps that's what I was thinking of. Okay, so that realistically has no meaning to me unless the spirit that's talking to us was soullessly robbing while driving a Potomac car. So, yeah, that has no relevance. That's just a random word, just an odd word. I wasn't lying, though. I knew that there was a Potomac Indian. I just didn't realize it was a car. Larcenist. Okay, well, that's really odd because we keep getting responses now that seem to have to do with crimes. We have robbing, we have larcenist. So robbing and larceny, they are in a way similar. So is the spirit that's talking to me right now, are you a criminal? Can you tell me if you're a man or a woman? That was me clearing my throat if you heard that. Why do you keep giving me responses that have to do with types of crime? Metrically. Okay. Once again, that's kind of a random thing to spit out there. I don't know what that could have to do with anything. If you guys will notice, though, sometimes we'll get some interesting responses, and what I'll do is I'll screenshot it. So that way I have a copy of it later on to maybe throw into an intro or something. Um, Metrically, I don't know what that could mean. Hold on a second, guys. My son is stirring upstairs. And the good thing is the responses that we're getting on this one, we're not having that same issue like we had at one point in time. I think it was the ghost tube that we were testing where when I got responses that the baby monitor was shutting off. I still have not been able to explain that, and for the record, guys, that has still not happened since that test. So I don't know what was going on that night. What do you mean by metrically? Can you give me another word? Could you throw out something? Could you tell me my name? Could you tell me your name? Oh, yay, another ad. Muffled. Muffled could be a lot of things. Muffled could be your voice. Muffled could be a scream. Uh, Muffled could mean you were bound and gagged, which would once again point to a crime of some kind. So I'm kind of seeing a connection there in theory of robbing, larceny. Muffled, it could have been a kidnapping perhaps. But once again, guys, you can only make of these apps what you make of them. Everything I'm getting at right now is just strictly speculation based off of the words that I'm receiving. If you heard that, there's this digital watch in here that's in our dining room that I cannot find. And it annoys the piss out of me because once an hour it beeps. And I cannot locate this watch. It has been doing it for probably a year now. I'm surprised the batteries haven't died, and I wish that they would, because it bothers me so bad that I cannot find this watch. Can you please come forward and tell me your name? Dictuve or dictive? I'm not sure exactly what that was supposed to mean or say. That's just random gibberish, I believe. So, I don't know. Can you tell me what profession were you in? You know, guys, and you watch these app tests. I know I ask a lot of the same questions every time I test these apps. Let's be honest. There's certain things when you're testing an app in your own house that you don't want to ask. And I have asked those questions a few times, and it's few and far between, because if there is something negative here, which I don't believe there is, you really don't want to know it if you have to live there. So I try to avoid those questions. Can you tell me, how did you die? And we're gonna take a screenshot of this because if I just noticed that there's a word list up on the top up here to the right. So I do want to screenshot that. So I have a copy of those words because I don't believe this thing has a kept word database. I've not been able to find it if it does. And there's no way to change the settings on it either. So basically what you get is what you get. All right, I'm going to walk out to the living room. And I've not seen anything show up on this radar besides that 2 purple dots that we got. And they were very far away, which kind of makes me wonder, how am I getting words if there's nothing close to me that's appearing on the radar? Are they strong enough in energy to modify the database of the words? Stratagem. Okay, you got a strategy for something? What's your strategy? Tell me all about it. I'm listening. So as I was saying, I think it's weird that we're not getting any kind of blips on the radar below. Kind of weird because is it strong enough to modify the word database, but not strong enough to show up in a electromagnetic fluctuation form to show up on the radar, which would make any sense to me because I would think it would take more energy to modify the device to say a word than it would to put out to show up on the radar. So that kind of begs me to think that there's a possibility that these are just random words being thrown out of a phonetic generator. It's not really a phonetic generator because it doesn't say anything. It's more like a word generator. Which I guess phonetic generator, word generator, same thing. There's just no volume to it. I'm walking. Can you please tell me your name? Tell me something relevant. Tell me my name. You know what, now that I think about it, stratagem could be a form of strategist, and I did ask what his profession was several minutes ago. Maybe it was in a stratagem or strategy planning for crimes, since we keep getting criminal activities coming through. Madly. Oh. I love these apps because you're not smart enough to solve this. Oh, it's not that easy. Leave me alone. So, madly. Don't know what it could mean by madly. Yeah, pretty much anything I'm getting right here, right now, is just random words that are coming through. I mean, yeah, some of them had a coincidental trend of criminal activity, but at the same standpoint, I can't get it to give me any kind of direct response, which is not what I like to see. I like to see, straight up direct responses. So last time I used this app, and I'll include the 2 screenshots that I have in this video, from the last time I tested it, I got things that had to do with religion. And this time I'm getting things that have to do with crime. So, as you guys know, in app tests I've done in the past, I've gotten several times, I've gotten things about religion and violence, and robbery and larceny could both be violent. The muffled could be kidnapping, which could be violent. So, kind of makes me wonder if whatever's making these apps give me these words, if maybe it is in a way malevolent, but not malevolent enough to act out. And I'll be doing a video later on this week at the request of a fellow YouTuber, Jay Paranormal. And I'm going to talk about some of the experiences that I've had in this house. I've kept a log of all of my experiences since we moved here almost 4 years ago. And Ricket, what? Ricket Cias, what the hell is that? Okay, guys, I gotta see if that's even a word. So just something I wanted to throw in there, guys. So when we got that word Potomac, I went here and I didn't notice this until I was watching back. So the Potawatomi is a Native American tribe based in Stafford County, Virginia, along the Potomac River. So we got the word Potomac or Potomac, however you pronounce it. I'm not exactly sure. But is this spirit trying to tell me that it was from the Potomac River or lived around the Potomac River at one point in time? Kind of makes me wonder if there was any robberies or larceny that happened around there, since that was kind of the responses that we were getting in the gist of the conversation. Just something else I wanted to point out to you guys that I didn't notice earlier.